What's good, YouTube? What is good? Welcome to another Friday Night Sports Talk. I am your host, Tommy D, aka Triple T Trash Talking Tom. And my other co-host, Socrates Palmer, will be in a little bit later. But with me today, I have my man Marky Dan and my man Jude, Judah Ben. They are with me today, as you can see on the screen. And
See,
and how are you gentlemen doing today? I got my coquito here. What's going on?
Yeah, man, I'm
I'm
blessed. I'm blessed, bro. I hope y'all doing good too, man. I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was good. I can't complain. I played a little football yesterday. I'm a little sore. The old age is getting to me, but what can I do? We'll talk a little bit about that when Sock comes on because, I threw my usual 2 interceptions. I had a couple of touchdowns. I threw some touchdowns. Sock dropped one, and I got to get him for that. So when he gets on, we'll talk about that. Real quick, I want to give a special shout out to our man DP Rocker. Happy birthday, DP Rocker. I don't know if he's in the building yet. I'm going to see who's in the building in a minute. DP Rocker's birthday is today. Happy birthday to him. And happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, my boy Pedro Fernandez, who I do Ring Talk Worldwide with. Happy birthday to him as well. So with that being said, let's see who's in the building. I see my man Mr. Shelton's in there, with the Woogie Boogie. I know he really want to talk shit about my Seahawks. We got trashed yesterday. I don't even want to talk about it, but the Niners won. Much props to the freaking Niners. Jamie TV, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Always showing support. Appreciate you. I'll probably be by later on. And that's it for now. I'm sure more people will come in later as we get into it. My man Shelton, Terror Squad Tommy in the building. So let's get into it. Tomorrow we got 2 big fights. We got a couple of fights. We got one big pay-per-view. We got another one overseas with the women fighting. And then we have if you guys like wrestling, we got WWE War Games tomorrow as well. But nobody really want to talk about War Games. Nobody want to talk about Katie Taylor. Let's get into it. David Benavidez taking on Boo Boo Andrade. I know Jude, don't like to say Boo Boo. We'll just call him Andrade. And we're going to start off with Jude because I know he's a big Benavidez fan. I'm sure he got bets on Benavidez tomorrow. So we'll start off with you, Jude. What's going on, bro?
Chilling fams, you know what I mean? My prediction ain't gonna change. I'm gonna have Benavidez, going against the world. But this the same analogy I had, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I just don't feel Andrade is the one to take Benavidez out. He's just age is gonna be a huge factor. But don't get me wrong, Demetrius Andrade is a phenomenal boxer. He's a phenomenal fighter. He's very unpredictable. It's going to be tough, trust me, for Benavidez early on. It's going to be, it's going to be puzzling, to catch up with him. Like I said, the unpredictability. Demetrius Andrade is quick. He got good feet. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be challenging in the earlier rounds, but like it's always been, David Benavidez got the most impressive gas tank in boxing, and he just gonna wear Benavidez down with body shots and looping overhands and uppercuts, and it's gonna wear and tear on him.
So you think? So would you say you think Benavidez wins in a stoppage, or he'll just pretty much break him down and just
Pretty much,
win by points
he'll pretty much break it down. It may be a stoppage. If I was to say it'll be a stoppage, I'll say later rounds like 10 or 11, because we still talking about Demetrius Andrade. And like I was on Skywalker's live earlier. Like I said earlier, if Andrade was going against anybody else, I would have Andrade whooping their ass.
Okay.
But they is levels, man. David Benavidez is levels above most of these cats.
Marky Dan, what do you think?
Well, me personally, I have Andrade winning the fight. I just think Andrade is a better boxer. He's a southpaw. He punches from very awkward angles. I think he's gonna dominate the early rounds in this fight. Benavidez, he's gonna have to try and stay as close as he can. He's gonna have to try and put some work to his body. He's gonna have to try and push him in the clinches, whatever he can to try and, I guess, just break Andrade's rhythm. But the thing that could get Andrade in a little bit of trouble in this fight is Andrade has this issue where, I mean, he just can't get out of first gear, and he just fights at the same pace the whole fight. And it really looks like he's in cruise control sometimes. And when you're dealing with a guy like Benavidez, who even though I think Benavidez is more of a volume puncher, he still has a lot of pop. And Andrade is somebody who's moving up. So I do think that Andrade could get himself caught slipping in this fight. Man,
Okay.
Whether it's going to be a stoppage or points, I think it's going to be points for Andrade, and for Benavidez, it's going to have to be a stoppage. I don't see him winning on points, unless it would be a robbery because
Wow.
he's the PBC, or he's the PBC
He
fighter.
could clearly win on points, like he did against Plant. He won on points against Plant.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they had a unanimous.
Yeah, but you see the thing, Jude, the same thing that I just said will happen with Andrade happened in the Plant fight. Plant, at least in my opinion, he outboxed Benavidez through the first 6 rounds of that fight. Then I think he got caught with a punch in the 7th round, and you know how Caleb Plant's gas tank is. He was just gassed at that point. And Benavidez, like you said, has one of the craziest gas tanks in boxing, especially for how big he is, man. So it's definitely an interesting matchup, man. I'm excited for it.
Me too, man. I just can't wait.
Interesting. D-Free, I see you just came in. We started off with boxing. We went right to the main event. We didn't even go to the undercard. We went right at Benavidez against Andrade. Everybody's giving their take, so you can chime in if you like.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm dropping my wife off at work.
Okay. So 88 Sports Talk was good, bro. Thanks for coming through. Jamie Jam was good. Thanks for coming through. That's JVTV. She came in on the channel. Appreciate you, really do.
Peace.
And Shelton again, doping up kids with behavior problems.
Hey, that dude is crazy.
You got to see that video. It's a video he sent me. That shit was hilarious. I think it was by Mad TV or something like that. But whatever it was, that shit was funny. That's why every time he says it, that shit is hilarious. It's a fucking clown. But yeah, I know D-Free's a little busy waiting on Sock. But yeah, I can see it both ways, as you guys said. I'm kind of leaning towards Marky Dan and his prediction. And I say this because I think this is Andrade's fight to, you know what I'm saying, to, make or break it, right? He hasn't really got that big opportunity fight yet, and this is kind of it for him. And I think he's going to go all out. The weigh-in, I thought he looked phenomenal at the weigh-in. I thought he looked really good. Obviously, both guys made weight. Both guys looked good, but I thought Andrade looked really good. And I'm picking Andrade to win in a close split decision victory. And I think it's going to come down to that. I'm sorry. I think it's going to come down to that gas tank. I think he's a little bit better boxer than Plan is, with a little bit more pop. And I think if if his gas tank is good, if his legs are still good at 35 years old, he's not that old. He's like right there, borderline prime, borderline, old 35. I know Benavidez was 26. So, I'm leaning with Andrade. I think this is a statement fight for him. And it's a make or break fight for him, really, because, who knows if he'll get another opportunity like this, and if he wins, he'll get another big opportunity, you got to imagine. So I'm rolling with Andrade. Go ahead, Jim. I know you wanted to say something. I'm sorry.
I was going to.
That was deep. Okay.
This fight is a very interesting fight. What I will say at the weigh-in, Andrade looked very comfortable. He looked like he coming to his own at that weight. He doesn't look like he had to put on a lot of weight to make that weight. I saw Andrade looking real comfortable. There was a lot of smiling and stuff like that at the weigh-in between him and Demetrius. So I think it's a mutual respect between the two. but it's going to come down to Andrade's endurance. Like with that fight with Damon Milkerson, I don't know if it was the long layoff that he had, the reason why he looked so tired, or if it's just that he has a faulty gas tank, because that fight, he looked like he was hanging on. If Damon Milkerson had a little more pop in his punch and he had a little more movement, I think he probably would have beat Demetrius, because he didn't look well in that fight. He was holding on, and he was clumsy around the ring. And the one thing that I will say about David Benavidez, unless you got a punch that's going to make him respect you, he's going to keep coming forward. No matter how many times you hit him, he's going to keep coming forward. I'm still going to favor David Benavidez because of the layoff. And, I mean, Demetrius hasn't fought since January. And David just had a fight with Caleb Plant a couple of months ago, and now he's turning around having another fight. So he's actually warmed up. And, I mean, he's the bigger guy, and he's the younger guy. And it's something about when you hit that mark at 35, 36 years old, you can't turn back the hands of time. And what we saw from him and Damon Milkers, it might be that's what Boo Boo is now. He might be a guy that's just going to be able to outbox a C level or a low B level fighter. But those A-level fighters, he's not going to be able to outbox those guys because he doesn't have the legs, he doesn't have the movement. He'll have it for the first couple of rounds, but I don't think he's going to have it the whole 12 rounds. I don't really see it being a knockout. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but I don't see it being a knockout. I think it's going to be a unanimous decision, and I think it's going to be David Benavidez. I don't think it's going to be a robbery. I think David he's going to beat him, and you're going to see that David Benavidez won that fight. Now, like I said, it's going to be moments where Boo Boo have success, but it's going to be far and few between. And I think that's the reason why David will end up winning this fight.
Now, that's a horrible tape.
You always talking about something horrible. Nigga, your daggone mic is horrible. You always sound like you sleep when you come in this joint. Get a better mic.
As you see, BVO has just entered the panel, and BVO is Mr. Controversial coming in already shooting.
I love D3, but sometimes
I don't think BVO have no other saying, but that's a horrible. Every time somebody give an answer, that's a horrible acknowledgement.
He always does that shit.
You know the funny thing about D3, and I love him. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Do the Right Thing. Sometimes I feel like Sal, man. I'll be wanting to bust D3's head, man, but I don't, because that's my brother. But I'll say this, man. What he said is a little bit true about Boo Boo Andrade, but I can't say that because I just seen a 35-year-old man who fought one time in the last 3 years beat a reigning defending champion to death. We've seen what Terrence Crawford did to
and he got dropped against Nicholson.
But it's the king you gotta remember. My man Jude the dude. What's up, brother? How you feeling, man?
What's good, player? What's good, player?
I ain't got to cook you in a minute, man. But let me say this real quick.
You said who had a fight once in 3 years?
I was saying that I'm saying Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence both have been fighting once a year for the last 3 years or more. So what I'm saying is Terrence Crawford before his recent fight had only fought one fight have fought one fight a year for 3 years straight. So what I'm saying is I don't think ring rust when you get to this level is a big deal, because to me, I've seen a 37-year-old small Floyd beat the heck out of probably one of the greatest fighters we ever seen in Canelo Alvarez. So it doesn't really mean anything to get the age. I think the IQ that Demetrius has is something that's being, ignored. When you get to the level that he at, I mean, everyone says that, Boo Boo's the truth. The big thing we've been waiting on is Boo Boo going to get a test. So now he's a 35-year-old prospect who's getting an opportunity against, to me, I would say David is a B- fighter. Maybe one day he'll be an A, and I say that because he's not a finished product yet. The David Benavidez we see now is not David Benavidez we're going to see in 5 years. But that being said, I really think that Boo Boo's going to go in there and beat him to death. I'm going to give him a boxing lesson. Wow. The only thing I will say is this. I do agree with Free on the fact is that gas tank what it used to be. because I haven't seen the same Boo Boo who was at 154. I haven't seen that Boo Boo at 160, and I sure as heck haven't seen him when he fought Nicholson at 168. So it's really going to depend on what Boo Boo shows up. If the Boo Boo that showed up that was beating people to death that had, because think about this, Boo Boo Andrade is the only man that made the greatest fight of this era, Canelo Alvarez, lucky. Canelo's only ducked one man, and that was Boo Boo Andrade at 160. That's how special this kid is.
That's not true.
Well, that is true.
Not true.
That is true because
No,
listen,
that man
hold
Jamal
on.
made Mauricio create a whole belt.
I'll interrupt you, Free. Can you let me talk, brother?
No, because you talking nonsense.
Hold on. Can you let the black man talk?
You can't be up here lying to the people.
I never do that, whether it's on our show or my man Tommy from the Bronx show. Like
that's why you get cut off, because you lying to the people.
You know what's funny?
We're not gonna have Thomas out here having people lie on his channel. We try to have a nice factual channel.
Hold on. We got the backdrop of probably the dirtiest place on earth, the Bronx. And I'm bringing nothing but clean, unbiased take.
Why you gotta do my borough like that, man?
I mean, it's the filthiest borough in all the 5 boroughs.
I think Brooklyn is the filthiest borough of all 5.
No. Shout out to East New York, man. I was just there. There's no trash on the street like it is in the Bronx.
Well, you haven't been to like Bushwick or like fucking Flatbush. You haven't been to those parts yet.
You go anywhere in the Bronx, all I see is Fabuloso bottles empty, Coke 45 glass everywhere,
Fabuloso
everywhere.
Hey,
Just like you
say
got
what
a
you
black
want to
man
say.
thing as your logo.
Fabuloso smell good.
It's a good cleaning product, man.
Hey, can
my wife uses Fabuloso.
The only black man on the panel finish a statement, please? Please, man.
Go ahead, finish.
You got a West Indian, you got 2 Spanish guys. I don't know what my man Jude to do this, but I'm an Asiatic black man. So let me finish. So when you're talking about Demetrius Andrade, you're talking about a guy who at one time was going to go up to go to heavyweight and fight Anthony Joshua. That's how skilled this kid is. He was the number 1 guy coming out his amateur class. He is one of those guys. I think this is his chance to do an Andre Ward run where he can go in there, beat the Mexican monster. I don't know if he can beat Canelo, because Canelo is the best fighter of this era, hands down. But if he could somehow beat a living legend like Canelo, that would set him up for the Hall of Fame. I think Demetrius got the talent to do that. So we're going to see what happens. But I'll tell you this, what I've seen from Jamal Charlo, man, was so unprofessional, man. I almost threw up when I seen that. Like, this is a professional.
We didn't get to that yet.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
We're still on the main event, but
okay.
Before we move on and maybe give our final predictions on it, I think Judah wanted to say something.
Oh no, what I was going back to what you were saying earlier, Tommy, with Andrade. What the one of the other things that bothers me with Andrade too is, who can we say he fought where he was tested? You know what I mean? Where he was battle tested. You feel me? Like, exactly.
Nobody.
David Benavidez, he had at least 2 or 3, recent fights, but we can say, he's proven. He's battle tested.
Well, Jude, when you say, my bad, Jude, when you say tested, do you mean just going through adversity, or are you talking about fighting certain opponents?
Like actually fighting somebody who's of that top caliber. Like,
okay, all right.
Now, another thing is, we don't know if Boo Boo could take a shot because he got dropped before.
Exactly.
Now, and David Benavidez did too.
Last fight.
David Benavidez did too.
But to be fair, the guy he got dropped against was a big puncher. That was Vanez, or whatever you want to call him. That guy was a good fighter in his prime. So he fought Triple G, I think, right after that. But yeah, he got dropped. But he got dropped against a guy that could punch.
But Jude, I was about to say that, man, because we've seen Andrade go through adversity, but it's like in fights where he's dominating and then boom, he just gets dropped. Like against that dude Liam Walsh from the UK, and it was another African fighter that dropped him back in the day, and it's just really just him staying in the same pace. I don't really understand a dude like Andrade.
And
He's
then
the front runner. He's the front
here's
runner.
another thing.
Front runner.
I
Wow.
was about to ask
Andre
BBO.
is phenomenal. Andre is phenomenal in the early rounds. He may even drop you once or twice.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
a front runner.
He
For sure.
can't capitalize after that.
No, I was
Yeah.
about to ask BBO because he said he got Demetrius beating David Benavidez half to death. I want to know when was the last time we seen David Benavidez? Boo Boo beat somebody half to death.
Exactly.
Well, I'll say this. What I've seen and what you all seen with David Benavidez, I've seen an old what was it, Andrade, what was it? Is it Darrell? Anthony Darrell. I've seen an old Anthony Darrell, not Andre, the bigger brother, but I've seen an old Anthony Darrell really giving it to him until he got cut. Once he got
That
cut,
was like
once Anthony
only
got,
2 rounds, BBO. Come on now.
Right.
listen,
after 2 rounds, Darrell was just getting beat on
Benavidez was
mercilessly.
pounding this man.
because he got cut.
He was destroying
by a
Darrell
punch,
from-
BBO.
But listen, but you miss it. What I'm saying is this: the thing
Yeah.
about David is that he gets hit too much. If you don't realize that he's getting hit too much, you ain't been watching him close. Yes, he does. Yes, he does throw punches and bunches, but he's not the most powerful guy. He's a volume accumulator puncher. It's not like he's not a Canelo who can just get you out of
That's
there.
why he's so deadly. Because he's an accumulator.
He said a Canelo that gets you out of there. When's the last time Canelo got somebody out of there?
He does have.
Because the longer
he does possess.
the
one
longer
punch
he
knockout
hits you,
power.
the harder his punches get.
He does
The harder
possess
he,
one punch
the more he
knockout
hits you,
power.
the harder his punches get.
See, the thing is, like David Benavidez possesses one punch knockout power. The thing is, he likes throwing a lot of shots, so he doesn't sit down on his punches. But he does possess that because if you watch his earlier fights, he have knocked people out with one punch. You just gotta
exactly.
you just gotta sit down on his shot, and that's the thing. He don't sit down on his shot, and he throws a bunch of shots to frustrate you and beat you up, and makes you have to react to all the shots that he's throwing. And so that's how he end up setting you up, because you're reacting to all the shots that he's throwing, which leaves yourself open to get hit.
But at the same
I think that's a good.
high volume punches like Benavidez, they get hit a lot too.
They do.
Right?
You got to bring it to get it.
He's going to get hit back, so that's going to be it.
Done?
But real quick,
What has that done to him lately?
So real quick, guys, let me give a shout out to my man Sherman guy. Thanks for coming through. He's watching on Facebook. He's a professional fighter too. I don't know if he's still currently fighting. He's also a Niner fan, so congrats to your Niners. You know, I know you're feeling good.
Don't come to Cleveland.
But back to this. I just want to give a shout out to my man Sherman guy. And I dropped the link in the Facebook if anybody want to come through from there. So go ahead, Rubio.
No, what I was saying is Jew is making a good point that, you know, David gets hit a lot, but I just think, I don't know what can anybody on the panel say that they seen that lets you know David Benavidez is that guy. I heard another man tell him, "I'll take your shoes off of you," and he said he's not going to fight him. So I honestly believe, and this is I could be wrong, I think what David is doing is taking the path of least resistance, because he should have fought David Morrell. And he said, listen, David Morrell said, listen, let me finish.
Y'all gonna get this man David Morrell hurt bad.
Listen, David Morrell said,
David Morrell don't need to
like
focus
you
on no David Benavidez.
One person at a time. One person.
Let me finish. I'm saying that David Morrell told this man, "I'll take people like you. We take your shoes off of you," and just the disrespect that I've seen David Morrell give David Benavidez, and to see David Benavidez just be terrified of the man, it's like,
damn.
It is what it is, man. We won't know what'll happen, because we all on this panel know if he fought Canelo today, Canelo will beat the brains off of him. Like, it'll be tacos, pizzas, and tacos everywhere.
Let me say this. I think Morrell is going to beat Benavidez to death. That I can agree with BBO on.
And then
I bet money with anybody on that.
It's already been confirmed that wasn't even Morrell typing. That was his handlers. That wasn't even David Morrell typing that BS. That's what I'm like. And that don't even sound like some shit Morrell would even say.
I mean, but Jude, you got David Benavidez reading shit off his phone at a press conference. So come on now. They both some fake ass niggas. Let's see them fight.
That's more believable at a press conference than from what they saying on Twitter that Morrell is saying. Anybody can want to have a speech prepared at a press conference. That's nothing.
You know what,
Joe
Jude?
Biden, the
Okay,
president
but
would
when
have
you have trash talk prepared at a press conference, that's my problem.
but
When you
like
reading off a phone,
it's
you're a
already
bitch,
been
you're a
confirmed.
pussy. What you
Does
say?
he speak fluent English?
Been confirmed on multiple occasions that wasn't Morrell. Like
Does
that.
he speak? Is his English
What
fluent?
wasn't Morrell? I stepped out. What y'all talking about? What was
He said that
Morrell?
wasn't real. That
Y'all gonna get that man Morrell hurt. He's too green for Benavidez right now.
No,
He's way too green.
Morrell. I don't think
David Benavidez whooped his
Benavidez.
ass, y'all gonna be saying, well, he was 9-0 anyway.
Well,
No,
well,
my whole
let me-
thing is
One guy at a time.
when it comes to Morrell, if he get beat up by David Benavidez, so be it. I don't think David Benavidez beat him. I don't think nobody at 168 beat Morrell. But Morrell has been talking a lot of smack to David Benavidez, and David Benavidez ain't been saying nothing back. He's been talking a lot of smack to David Benavidez.
He got Andrade in front of him. Why waste energy?
No, this was before Andre. This was before Andre. He didn't sign. We didn't even know he was fighting Andre.
Even before then, Team
and
Benavidez.
D Free, you want to know the sick shit? They got the same manager.
They wanted to fight Morrell. Didn't Jose Senior said they sent him a contract and his team said no?
No, what happened was that
They said no. They already sent the kite. You know what I mean, man, they don't want no smoke.
Let me tell you what was said and what was counter said. What was said was David Benavidez had a contract for Morrell. This is what Senior said, Jose Senior. He said David Benavidez signed the contract. We're looking to get the fight with Canelo. If we don't get the fight with Canelo, then we'll fight Morrell. David Benavidez came out and said, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I never signed anything. So it was the manager, which was Morrell's manager and David Benavidez's manager, and it was Jose Senior that said that David Benavidez signed the contract, and David Benavidez said, I never signed anything. I don't know what they're talking about. So you got your father and your manager saying you did sign the contract to fight Morrell, and he come out saying he didn't sign anything. So I don't know what you're talking about. They said the contract because the contract was supposedly be signed by David, but then David said, I didn't sign anything. That's when he was trying to get the fight with Boo Boo. Because the whole thing was you didn't get the fight with Canelo, so you're supposed to be fighting Morrell in October. And he was like, nah, I didn't sign anything.
You know what's funny though? This is classic Jude right here, going against a black man that's about to win. This is what Jude does, man.
Always pulling the race card.
You got
David Benavidez is a nigga too. Let's not do that either.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not going to agree with BBO and say David Benavidez took the path of less resistance, because we just seen David Benavidez in with Caleb Plant. We just seen David Benavidez in there with what was the guy before Caleb Plant?
He worked at Amazon.
That's Breadman's fighter. I can't remember his name.
The dude he dragged up there.
Koran something.
You ain't shit.
Whoever it was, we just seen David Benavidez fight all of the guys that was in front of him to get to the Canelo fight. The person that's taking the less resistance,
the Canadian guy that hasn't had it for in a while, Lemieux.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the person that's taking the less resistance is Canelo. That man is not trying to fight nobody at 168. Every person he fought at 168 came from a lower weight class.
Yeah, he made him move up.
Hold on, Free. Did he not just fight an undisputed reigning champion?
Did you not hear what I just said? He's not fighting nobody at 168.
Listen. He's fighting everybody
out of the weight class.
This what D Free does. You had a guy in Jamel Charlo who was known possibly as top 3 pound for pound fighter in the world, and Canelo had enough guts to go up and call this guy up to come fight him. He just
he calling a guy at a lower weight class, 2 weight classes lower, and coming off an injury.
Hold on, didn't Floyd call up what was the guy, the Mexican cat? He brought him up to 147, who was 140 pounder. People do this all the time. Stop trying
Yeah,
to
but
make
he
it
just came
something
out of
that is
prison.
not.
You talking about Marquez?
Marquez. Yeah.
Yeah, and Marquez
he
was
just
a
came off a
catchweight.
2-year layoff, BBO.
That was a catchweight.
Not only that, Marquez
No, BBO,
was
stop
also a
putting out
mutual
this
opponent of
daggone
Pacquiao,
false
so that's why they
propaganda.
made that fight.
Yeah,
Stop
and
putting
it
out
was
the
at a
false
catchweight too. That
Stop
fight was
putting
at a
out that false
catchweight.
propaganda. Floyd
Of
did
which-
not call Juan
Yeah.
member Marquez up from 140.
No, he
Juan
didn't.
wanted to fight Floyd.
Exactly, and that was Floyd's first fight out of prison, and it was at a catchweight, and Floyd was 2 pounds over the weight. He had to pay a penalty. He had to pay
Juan
$2
wanted to
million
fight
extra
Floyd.
dollars.
And you know what's so
Floyd didn't ask
funny?
for
And you
that
know what's
fight.
so funny? I'm gonna tell y'all something funny because I love each and every brother on this panel. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. That's what y'all do, man. If y'all love a guy, it's okay. If you don't love him, it's a bad thing.
It ain't cool when none of them do it because I don't do it. So it ain't cool when none of them do it. I call everybody out when you out here lying.
Yeah, but the Floyd example was a bad example because that was at a catchweight.
Well, you know the funny thing about it, and I expect you to do this, Tommy. You want to attack the black man, and that's okay.
I
That's
don't.
okay.
What are you talking about?
I get it.
Sock, what's good, Sock?
Stop. What's up, man? Come
Salute.
to your co-host, man.
Yeah, your man BBO is wilding right now. We're talking about
Really?
Benavidez and Andrade. Everybody kind of gave their take.
Stop.
BBO,
Yes, sir.
Tell these brothers what it is.
It ain't even a conversation.
It's taking it tomorrow.
Well, it's hard not to pick Benavidez on a couple of reasons. Demetrius Andrade has been fighting for a long time. He's 35 years old.
See,
He won his first world title on HBO, and HBO hasn't been on TV in over 10 years. Okay, that's the biggest factor. Number two, he's really not a super middleweight. It's like overnight he became a 68. It's like he didn't lose the pandemic weight, and he blew up to 68. And those are two big factors. And I think to beat somebody like Benavidez, you have to have something on your punches, and that's never been Demetrius's forte, even when he was a 54. So I'm picking Benavidez by decision. I think Demetrius is smart enough to last. I don't think he's going to give a Charlo effort. He's going to try to win, but he just won't have enough firepower to keep him off.
You know what's up, man? You just gave us the classic crazy point, man.
The classic what?
So you act like you didn't see
The classic what?
That's just
Say
the
it again?
classic. That's just like the classic YouTube point you just gave me. You just said because
Really? Well, that makes sense.
Because Boo Andrade has longevity. You want to hold it against him? It's the same. You gotta remember. Then you see Floyd Mayweather.
I'm 46. I wish I was 26. All right.
But listen, we seen Floyd Mayweather, old, small Floyd Mayweather, cook one of the greatest fighters of his generation. Canelo Alvarez easy at 36. So the fact that you want to say he's old, we seen Muhammad Ali become champion at 35. This whole narrative of him being old at 35 is just nuts.
Those guys were.
Let me answer BBO. First of all,
my bad. So go ahead.
Well, let me rebut. You're right. Floyd Mayweather did something that was special. However, Canelo Alvarez is not the same Canelo Alvarez back then as he was, let's say, 4 or 5 years ago. He took that fight at the perfect time. If he would have waited 2 years, he's not doing that to Canelo. And we're not having this conversation right now. That's just a fact.
But hold on. But let me go back to it. You got to remember that Canelo had already had a belt at 154.
Against Ricky Hatton's brother? Against Ricky Hatton's brother? Really?
Listen.
Come on, man.
He had two, and he had just beat. Let's not forget the monster. He had just beat Austin Trout, who was like
Austin Trout was not a monster. Austin Trout was a good fighter.
Okay, Austin Trout was a monster.
Maybe Austin Trout dressed up as
Ugas is today. Austin Trout is what Ugas is today.
Now, for you to say that, Jude,
he's better than Ugas.
You should be dunking Shark Tank for saying that. That was a terrible point. But I'm gonna say this because I'm not gonna let my man Sock take away from this brother's accomplishments. So you want to tell me you seen an old Floyd? You want to say Floyd Canelo was young and green? Canelo had more fights than Floyd at the time. How does that make any sense? He had more fights than Floyd did.
So that experience. Okay, so you're really going to compare the resumes at that time? Really?
Yes, we are.
I mean, come.
We talking
Oh,
about
okay.
boxing. So this is
Okay.
something brand new to you, boxing, baby.
I mean, regardless, Sock, when they're
Maybe you used to
oh,
box in oranges. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, regardless,
I've forgotten
Sock,
more about boxing than you know. All right, that's number one.
Oh, because I'm black. Go ahead.
No.
this dude, man, what is wrong with you, bro?
Go ahead.
Yo, BVO is always controversial, but go ahead, Sock.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, look, that's my point of view. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right tomorrow. You know what? I like Demetrius Andrade. I've known him before anybody who knew who Demetrius Andrade was. I just don't think he has it. He's going to get steamrolled probably after the 8th, 9th round. And it's not going to be anything that we haven't seen from Benavidez. Benavidez is a slow starter. Demetrius, if he's going to make it a fight, has to do it early. He's got to make Benavidez respect him. Benavidez is clumsy. Andrade could take advantage of that, but let's face it, Andrade hasn't really looked great the last 2 or 3 fights.
Tell the truth.
Now I'll agree with that, Sock, but what I'm just saying is this. Let's not, now we both over 30. Let's not count out that experience being a really big factor in this, because what I've seen from Benavidez is that the kid is not getting better. He's really doing some of the same stuff he did when he fought before. He's still not protecting himself. He's still got his feet in the mud. He doesn't know how to move his head off the line. And if you're telling me a slick boxer, don't get me wrong, Demetrius is a front runner. You make a great point with that. He does really good when he's ahead of the fight. He does great work early. One thing I'm worried about, and D. Free made a good point, is how is that gas tank going to be when it's time to go? But I'm telling you, this is going to be
than Andrade.
Say it again.
Well,
I said Caleb Plant is probably a more slicker fighter than Andrade.
But this
that's true. Andre fights in the pocket. He's taller too. He's a big guy.
That's
this is going to be this is going to be a Chance Crawford, Errol Spence one-way show. It's going to be a one-way show. It's going to be a complete beatdown.
So this is time out. So are we? Am I getting this right, BVO? You saying that Andrade is going to dominate Benavidez?
He's going to dominate. He's not going to knock him out because I don't think he can. But he's going to dominate him.
BVO been wrong about the last 6 big fights. He's been wrong about the last 6 big fights.
All I know at 4 is it about 4 to 1 odds right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sunday you're gonna be a happy man then. How much you gonna put down?
He ain't betting.
Why not?
No, I got something on it.
You got to show receipts though.
With the sports book, I got some.
We want to see receipts. You know, this is how we do it. This is how we do it in these YouTube streets.
You know what I'm gonna do, something? And I'm gonna get your email from Tommy, man, and I'm gonna send it right to you and let you see it. But I'm telling you, y'all heard BBO said, y'all heard it said, your boy BBO, the Asiatic black man said it first. Booba's gonna dominate this dude. It's gonna be an Andre Ward type. I'm telling you, bro, he's about to go on an Andre Ward.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all the fights that BBO was wrong about.
What's one I right about?
I ain't say lie. I said you was wrong.
I said right about.
What fight was you right about?
First. Yeah, tell the fights I was right about first.
I don't know no fights that you was right about.
When they said T.O.
I ain't been around you long enough to know any fights that you was right about. I know about all the fights that you was wrong. The fights that you've been around me, you've been wrong about every fight.
No. What about the whole Anyway fight that you said Kubo was gonna do something anyway, and Anyway beat the brakes off of him?
Oh yeah, I will give you that. But
Yeah.
You didn't say Kubo was gonna beat. You didn't say that Anyway was gonna beat the brakes off him neither.
I said he was gonna win.
Give me 5 fights.
You said he was gonna win. You ain't say he was gonna beat the brakes off. You said he was gonna win.
You picked Crawford. You picked Crawford over Spence too.
He took Spence over Crawford.
He was
took
talking
Spence
a lot of shit
over
about
Crawford.
Crawford.
He took Ryan Garcia over Tank. He said that Shakur Stevenson was going to beat the tacos out of De Los Santos. He said Shakur was going to beat the tacos out of him. He said Jamel will beat. No, you did say Jamel was going to lose, but you said Jamel was going to go out there and it was going to be a tough fight for Canelo because Jamel. Actually, no. You said Jamel was going to lose, was going to win.
He said Jamel was going to win.
Jamel was going to win.
Because I came in and I said that I picked Canelo.
But I came back and changed.
He said Jamel was going to win.
Crazy.
That's right. I know
he said I was talking crazy when I said
Jamel was going to win that fight.
But remember, But we did a podcast the day before, the day of the fight, and I changed my prediction because I knew Canelo had something different. When he came in those silk pajamas, I knew it was over with.
All right,
So
so
let's not forget. So I picked the Tio fight when Teofimo beat an undisputed lineal champion.
You said Tyson Fury was going to beat Francis Ngannou to sleep.
Ah, nah, he got a pass for it. You got a pass.
No,
for
he
that.
did not.
He beat him.
Yes, you do. Come on.
that was bullshit.
See, D Free just going at me. Most of the fights I was right about. The only fight I was wrong about was, I don't know, I seen Oscar De La Hoya when I looked at Ryan, because I think Ryan is a more talented guy at 140. He just is not. He don't got the right mindset. But as far as skills, height, power, Sock, you got to agree with me, man. Ryan Garcia, aesthetically, his skills are terrific. He just don't got the mindset to be what he should be.
I mean, he's got he's got the stuff you can't teach. I mean, he's tall, like you said. He's got hand speed. I mean, he should have beaten someone like Tank Davis, but he's missing something here.
Ryan Garcia might
heart and brains.
He might be developing some skills right now, because from what I've been seeing from his workout videos that they've been dropping, he look like he might be developing skills right now. But before now, Ryan Garcia ain't had no goddamn skills. All he had was hand speed and power. That's all he had. That's all he was known for. Was hand speed and power. You can't teach that,
Free. You can't teach that. That's what I'm talking about. You can't teach the skills.
No, that's not no damn skill.
But hold on, BVO, you can't go in there as a raw prospect and expect to beat Tank Davis. You can't, like, when you're going up against a fighter like Tank Davis or Canelo or Nui, you have to have certain tools in your toolbox, my guy. That man Ryan did not move his head, and you saw him get blasted in the second round. And then he got blasted with that uppercut to the gut.
You can't teach that. So I know a dude right now in the gym, hands fast as hell. The nigga hit a hole through a goddamn wall. I guarantee you his ass ain't gonna be no Tank Davis, though. I guarantee you ain't gonna be no Tank Davis.
Well, they gotta have a mind, and I think with some, and I agree with my brother Sock. So I'm not going at it. I'm just saying that what we seen, and Sock can attribute to this, that the physical skills are there. Ryan
ain't got no damn skills. He ain't got no skills. He might be developing something now.
That hand speed and him being tall, this is stuff that he was all born with, man. He just said he wasn't born with a heart. That's his only problem. He wasn't born with a heart, man. But then again, it's kind of hard to say that when he took a fight against Tank Davis, man, he didn't have to.
Yeah, I don't agree with people saying he ain't got heart. I mean, he got hit with a liver shot. It is what it is. Like, most dudes are not going to get up.
I think that
you got to be somebody like a Nonito Donaire who's just crazy and violent.
Go ahead, son.
No, I mean, maybe look. A lot of people probably think that he did mail it in. He did, to me, in the while the fight was actually happening. You know what? After he got dropped in that first time, he still was coming forward. You know, he didn't bitch up. You know, so he does have heart, but I think it's from the neck up, and also the fact is he willing to be taught? You know, from what I heard, you know, he wasn't the easiest to work with. When if you're not going to listen to a world class trainer like Joe Goosen, you know, who you gonna listen to? You know, he said
it again, Sock, because my co-host gave me so much heck for talking about Hall of Famer Joe Goosen. Can you say it again about Joe Goosen, please?
You cannot, you know, shit on Joe Goosen's resume. I mean, he took the Ruelas brothers from the amateurs and turned them both into world champions. I mean, they're not in the Hall of Fame, but still world champions. Joe Goosen worked with Diego Corrales, Joel Casamayor. I mean, he's a legit Hall of Famer.
Riddick Bowe.
What I
did he work? Did he work with Riddick? No.
Yeah, when he came back. Yeah,
what I do know about the whole Joe Goosen.
Really, I missed that.
With Ryan Garcia, I know that Joe Goosen was only there 2 times out of the week. Ryan Garcia said Joe Goosen was only there when it was time for him to spar. He wasn't there during the training. He was only there for when it was time to spar. That's what came out of Ryan's mouth. I don't know how true it is, but that's what came out of Ryan's mouth. He said Joe Goosen was only there when it was time to spar. When I was training with people that I knew.
That makes sense. I mean, that does happen a lot. Like Emmanuel Stewart, you know, to me, the GOAT of all trainers, at least of the modern era. I mean, he would come in kind of like just for strategy of the modern era.
Oh, okay.
Last 40, the modern era, the last 40.
Okay.
And listen,
Okay.
and we could match. I mean, Emmanuel Stewart's resume is crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But Emmanuel Stewart worked with a lot of guys, and he would come in at the end of camp. You know, when you get to that celebrity status, like Emmanuel Stewart was at the time. But the one thing about Ryan's, I'm not gonna say excuse, but what he's saying, why did he not last at Canelo's gym? Questioning his desire, questioning his his work ethic. So that's why if I'm gonna take one side, I'm gonna lean on Goosen more than Garcia.
Hey, so let me ask you a quick question, man. You would put Emmanuel Stewart over Floyd Mayweather Sr. as a trainer, or Roger Mayweather as a trainer?
Absolutely. Why not?
I would take
and twice on Sunday.
I would take Emmanuel Stewart over Floyd Mayweather Sr.
BVO, like Emmanuel Stewart trained 3 back-to-back dominant heavyweight champions. He trained Holyfield for the Riddick Bowe rematch. He trained Klitschko and Lennox Lewis, and he resurrected Lennox Lewis's career. BVO, that man has I think he has a combined record of 34-1 in heavyweight championship fights.
The reason I'm saying,
Jimmy Paul.
I'm saying that
that's a whole crazy list of fighters.
It just what I've seen with Floyd Mayweather Sr., what he's done, what I seen him do with his son, and what he did with Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, he really brought Oscar De La Hoya back, man. I don't know if you remember, Oscar De La Hoya was really not the same. He got with the boy Floyd Sr. and looked like the old Oscar. I mean, that's
not really. The old Oscar was on his toes. I think.
And if you ask Oscar who his favorite trainer is, it's always Floyd Sr. That's what comes out of Oscar's mouth.
Is I like Floyd Sr. I like what he's doing with the young kids that's in the gym. I see him. He's taking them through the drills and stuff like that. But I don't. He's a good trainer. Like I think his son is probably his greatest product that he's ever produced.
Yeah,
but outside of that, I don't really think
that really wasn't all Floyd Senior. That was It was more so Roger Mayweather.
Did Floyd work with Chad Dawson a little bit? Didn't Floyd work with somebody?
No, Emmanuel still worked with Chad Dawson.
Someone early in his career, I thought it was.
Yeah, like
no, he worked with
Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Because I thought that too.
That was more so. That was more so Roger Mayweather. It was more Roger Mayweather than it was Floyd Senior. Floyd Senior was there too at the early stages of Floyd's career. He was there too, but he was more so training with Roger Mayweather than he was with his father.
But when he followed Terrell Gotti, I remember seeing Roger and Floyd looking in the audience at Floyd Senior when they was fighting Terrell Gotti. So
it was
that was live.
It was after the which fight was it? The shit. What's the name of the guy that beat Arturo Gotti at 130? And he had this like 20 fight.
Not Ricky Hatton.
He had this 20 fight win streak where he was not.
Either Robinson?
No, bro.
At 130, I mean,
I can't think of who it is.
I can't think. I'm sorry, man.
Man,
right.
Okay.
I mean, he lost to Manfredi and he lost to Ivan Robinson. That was it.
Now you got.
I think it was Angel Manfredi. Yeah.
It could have been. Yeah, because it was he lost to Robinson first. It was back. They had a rematch too. He lost both fights.
I think the Manfredi fight was the last fight that Floyd Senior was Floyd's main cornerman. At least until the Canelo fight years later.
No, but you got to understand.
I don't think so. I think it was always Roger.
Yeah.
It was more so.
I remember
Roger.
that fight because Floyd stopped Manfredi in the second round, and you see Floyd Senior immediately rush out after him.
You got to understand. Floyd Senior was always around during the beginning parts of Floyd Mayweather's career, but he was working more so with Roger Mayweather. He was working more so with Roger Mayweather. He was always around, but Roger Mayweather was more so his trainer. Now, like what BBO said when Roger and Floyd looked into the crowd at Floyd Sr., Floyd Sr. might give them pointers, but Roger was the trainer. The same way when Tank is fighting and Kyle and Coach Kyle is sitting right there and they're looking to the crowd and hear what Floyd is saying, he's giving them pointers, but Kyle is the trainer. Floyd is not Tank Davis' trainer. He just giving them pointers.
Yeah. I mean, they always had a toxic relationship. They were, Floyd Senior was in and out of Junior's life, so I don't think he ever gave him that place to be the main guy in his corner ever. Especially not when
Towards the end, he did.
He was around, but he wasn't his main trainer.
Yeah, no.
Thomas, did we talk about the co-main event yet?
Oh, we could talk about it. Ain't really much to talk about. This is
the
what
undercard is decent.
Fight picks and stuff like that. But go ahead, man. We cool.
This is what I want to talk about with the co-main. Jamal Charlo missed weight, right?
Yes.
On a catch weight, by the way.
Then he went for 2 hours, came back, and he came back heavier.
Yeah, he got like an extra half a pound.
And people could feel however they want to feel. I think Jamal Charlo is just a screw up. He's a drunk. He's divorced. I mean, look at how he takes his boxing career. Man. Like this dude.
I'll say that.
Well, okay, yeah, I shouldn't say that. But the WBC, they need to take that belt. Like this shit is disgraceful at this point.
I mean, he's a money guy. He's a money guy, man. He makes
the title in like 3 years.
But Tom, he makes money. Every time he fights, man, he makes money. That's the main reason why he's held that belt. The guy that had the
now he's fighting. He's not even defending the title. He's the 160-pound champion fighting at a catch weight. What's the catch weight they're fighting at?
163.
Yeah, that he requested and that he fucking missed.
Yeah, he's asking Jose Benavidez to move up, not at 160, but at 163, and he balloons up to like 168 or 167.
He was 166.
Because like technically it was 3 pounds, 166, and then he gained more to 167. Like it's a joke at this point.
Is he paying Benavidez more? Like
no.
Yeah, you gotta pay some more money.
I don't know.
It's gonna have to be some type of financial penalty.
No, he's paying him more money. He's paying him more money. But y'all gotta listen to the interview that he had. He said this fight was getting him ready for 168. That's where he's going next. So that's the reason why his belt is not on the line. He's getting ready for 168. Because they asked him, they said, is this fight getting you ready for 168? He said, yeah, I want those guys. He said, I'm gonna beat Big Brother, and then I'm gonna go beat Little Brother.
Yeah, he
said, I'm getting ready for 168.
He's the worst. And he also said that he only had 3 weeks. He only had a 3-week fight camp for this fight.
And BBO didn't say none of this.
I hope he gets stopped.
On BBO.
If
I know it's not going to happen, but I hope he gets stopped within 3 rounds.
If Jamal Charlo gets beat to death, I don't never want to see him again.
You gotta understand, he did only have 3 week training
I'm over with
it. He did only have a 3-week training camp.
It does seem like it was a short camp, but
it seems like it shows it.
Look, but the thing is this: nobody wants to see Jose Benavidez fight. Why is he not fighting Caleb Plant after getting the shit slapped out of him?
Exactly.
He's a herb.
Maybe
he's a herb. I'm gonna bring it back.
This is probably just a tune-up fight because Benavidez, let's be honest, 90% of his style is just posturing.
You gotta remember,
him
and Jose got into it before him and Caleb Plant got into it. So maybe he got a list of all the niggas he's trying to get rid of. He said, okay, Jose first, and then after that, I'm gonna go get Caleb Plant, and then after that, I'm going for David Benavidez. He probably got a list. Because him and Jose got a lot of bad blood.
So
a blown up welterweight. A blown up welterweight.
Hey, so,
you gotta
I heard
understand,
you say this.
Jose just fought Danny Garcia at 154.
And looked like shit.
And he moved up from that weight and fought at 160. So it's not Jamal that's bringing him up. He moved up.
You're right.
He finished fighting in August.
But Doritos and Corona.
D-Free, that's what I'm saying. This is a tune-up fight. And
he got
what probably
violent,
happened is Jamal
that.
probably don't even give a fuck about the penalty. He just really doesn't want to lose to Benavidez. And he just wanted an advantage.
I'll say this, man.
He better not.
People don't realize that Jose Benavidez will never be the same. He had somebody put some leg to his leg. So, I mean, to think he would ever be the same after that, it just, at the end of the day, man, he's fighting for a payday, man. I can't get mad at him. He's fighting for a payday. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm not mad at
I
what
guess.
Jamal doing. He's getting a
No,
tune-up
I'm
fight.
talking about Jose.
He's getting a tune-up fight from being out the ring for 2.5 years. He's getting a tune-up fight, and then after this fight, he needs to go fight one of them names. He got to fight one of those names after this fight. This is your tune-up. After this, you gotta fight one of those names. I mean, Boo Boo took a tune-up, and Demetrius, and Demar Milkerson, after being out the ring for 2 years, he took a tune-up, and now he's fighting David Benavidez. So maybe it's the same thing with Jamal. He's taking a tune-up, and then after that, he's going to fight one of those names.
I lost a lot of respect for Jamal when he was talking real spicy to Danny Jacobs, and then all of a sudden his nut shrank. Like that's when I knew
Danny Jacobs
that. Yeah, that's when I knew. That's when I knew he was a wankster.
That was on
He's
Danny.
a sucker.
That was on Danny. Danny.
The funniest
Jamal
shit
told
ever.
him, drop your fight. I drop my fight. We can fight. Danny was like, nah, I'll fight you after this. So he went and fought. Jamal went and fought his fight. Danny moved out of the division.
Yeah, he left the division.
Danny
Yeah, but
moved
what he was
out of the
talking
division.
about is when he was talking backstage or something, and
Yeah,
then Danny
but
walked
that-
in.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about backstage.
Yeah, and then
They had their
his
altercation
tone
backstage.
changed. His tone changed.
He was pushing.
Whether his
signed in the
tone
zone.
changed or not. He told that man to his face, you drop your fight, I drop my fight, we can fight. Danny said, nah, I'm going to fight my fight, you fight your fight, we fight next. Danny's the one that left. Jamal stayed in the division.
That's true. Yeah.
He signed the
He did say
zone right
that,
after that. Right after the zone, Tom. You gotta remember that, man.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I will say is this: people gotta remember, and I love Danny Jacobs. That's a Brooklyn brother right there. But if you pay him $1 more, he's gonna leave. He has no loyalty, man. As soon as the zone came with a check for him, he just pooped on Showtime, pooped on Al Heyman, all those guys. I mean, you always got a guy like Danny Jacobs who's gonna chase the money. And at the end of the day, he got
Two big fights.
Well, listen, he got two of the biggest fights that he probably wouldn't have got without him. He got the
Is that
fight.
a Brooklyn thing?
Brooklyn guys are grimy.
That's more of a Bronx type of thing.
Nah, that's a Brooklyn.
No.
You stay talking shit on the Bronx, but that's a Brooklyn thing to do right there.
That's Brooklyn 101, as he should. Look, you should only be loyal to yourself.
No. I mean, like I say, I like Danny. Danny's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but I think he ducked Jamal. If you had to look and say who ducked who, I would have to say Danny ducked Jamal because he the one that left the division. Jamal ain't go nowhere. Jamal stood right there, and Jamal ended up having to fight somebody else because Danny left the division, never came back. I can understand if you left to fight Canelo Alvarez and then you come back. That man left and never came back.
Never came back.
Real quick, Oplin LD TV, thanks for coming through, man. Salute to you, bro.
Real
Quick, let's get a final prediction for the main event, and then we'll go to the other fights. I think everybody said their piece. I'll start off. I'm picking Andrade in a close split decision. Judah.
Great pick.
Andrade going to sleep.
Wow. So he's saying Benavidez by knockout. Late, early, midway?
It'll be late.
Late. Marky Dan.
I got Andrade on points. I think it's going to be a good fight, though.
Sock.
Benavidez on points.
PBO.
Andrade by a brutal decision.
And D3.
Benavidez, unanimous, not even close.
Wow. So we got three. We're split on the panel. All right. We got split. We got one devastating knockout, and we got two guys picking devastating stoppages for each fighter. It's crazy. Okay. And then let's see what we got for the co-main event. The co-main event I'm very interested in. Just because of all the talk and stuff, and Charlo coming back. I think Charlo's gonna win, but I'm rooting for Jose to stop him within 3 rounds. But I think Charlo's gonna win in a decision. I think Jose sticks around, and I think Charlo will win a unanimous decision.
If he can't stop a blown up welterweight, that tells you how much Jamal Charlo has left in the tank.
I agree.
I'm not going to agree with that because there's something called ring rust and there's something called a tough fighter. Jose Benavidez, regardless of how we feel about him, he is a tough fighter.
Yeah.
And You also got to remember that Jamal's been out of the division. I mean, been out of boxing for 2.5 years. So there's going to be some ring rust. He's not going to probably get going until probably like round 6, maybe round 7. That's when he's going to really start get going because he's been out of the ring for so long. But I think Jamal is going to get a unanimous decision. I don't think he's going to stop him because Jose is tough. I mean, even if we look at Terrence Crawford, and that's coming off of Jose with one leg. He couldn't move around the ring. He just took a shotgun to the leg. He couldn't move around the ring. It took him 12 rounds before he got him out of there.
Yeah, and that was a good fight. He gave Crawford some problems too.
Yeah, he took him 12 rounds to get him out of there.
4 years ago though, so.
Yeah, I think it was longer than 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5. It was a while ago.
I think about 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was early. It was early in his walk, and that was Terrence Crawford just moving up to welterweight.
Yeah, that was just before the American
fight. The second fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm basing off of he looked slow as hell against Danny Garcia.
He really did.
I mean, it's slow motion. They look like they shot his other leg. I mean, he's slow as hell.
And it wasn't TV. We saw it in person. We were there.
He looked slow as hell.
We saw that live.
And the official scorecards were BS. He got smoked.
If Jamal get a knockout, I'd be happy for him. But I just don't think he's gonna get a knockout. I think he's gonna get a unanimous decision.
But I do agree. I mean, Benavidez is tough. I think he knows it's his last hurrah, right?
Yeah.
You know, only so much you could, say I'm David's brother, right?
Yeah.
So.
We seen Ray J do it with Brandy. We seen Ray J build a whole career of being.
It works. It works.
So he's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, I can't believe you just used Ray J and Brandy.
Oh, bro.
Ray J's gotten a lot of ass too.
Ray J got his own motion completely separate from his system.
I think it's a lot of pride involved too because he's fighting as a co-main on his brother's undercard. So I think there's gonna be a lot of pride. I think he's gonna try his best not to get knocked out. If he got to do a whole bunch of holding and standing in the ring and posturing, I think that's what he's gonna do to not get knocked out.
And what do you guys think up top, Juden and Marky Dan? I don't think y'all gave your prediction.
I got Charlo. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Maul, unanimous decision, possible like 2 knockdowns.
Well, I'll say this.
I ain't gonna call whether it's a knockout or a decision. I really don't care. Like, I just know Maul.
Now, it goes both ways. Because if Maul get beat by Jose, I think this could be his last big fight.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh yeah,
his wife said it 3 years ago.
He might get fed to Canelo, and that'll be the last time we hear from Jamal.
They might just say that he's just not into boxing anymore. He might be done.
Yeah, they might put him on the shelf because I mean PBC, they're moving to a whole new platform. They're off of Showtime now. Do you really want to bring that motherfucker over there?
No, they're not gonna put him on the shelf if Canelo is asking for him.
Which is crazy because nobody would want that fight, which is nuts.
Him and Plant got to do it before anything.
Well, I did hear. I don't know if this is true, but I did hear that they're gonna fight. I guess Canelo's gonna fight the winner of this fight in September for Mexican Independence Day. So whoever wins, whether it's Boo Boo or the Monster, he's not gonna fight them till Mexican Independence Day. But
I believe it when I see it.
He's definitely gonna fight Jaime Munguia next. That's his next opponent.
Who?
That's what Canelo is gonna be fighting Jaime Munguia.
Man, nobody wants to see that shit.
I heard that. That's
nobody wants to see that, dog.
Him and the Oscar hate.
I'm going on record right now. If he fight Jaime Munguia, I'm streaming it.
Him and Oscar don't even get along. Like why would he do Oscar that favor?
Well, it's not so much doing him that favor. Him and Jaime Munguia are great friends. So this like he did with the guy, was it Yildirim? He's gonna do the same thing for Jaime. He's gonna give him an opportunity. And it's nothing new. We seen the same. We seen Ali give guys chances. That's the type of guy Canelo is. He's gonna give him a chance.
He brought Yildirim up for his daggone mandatory. He ain't want to have to fight nobody else.
What I'm saying is
That's the
Yildirim was
reason why-
nothing more than his sparring partner. So what I'm saying is
Yeah,
Canelo.
he wasn't doing Yildirim no. I mean, he wasn't doing that just to do a favor for Yildirim. He wasn't trying to fight David Benavidez, so he brought Yildirim up.
That's what you say, Free, but we don't have no proof of that.
That's what I know.
Nah, he was doing Yildirim a favor. He got him a $3 million payday.
Yeah, he
and
really
that
did.
was that man.
I say he wasn't doing that to do Yildirim a favor. I ain't say he didn't do him a favor, but that's not the reason why he did it. He did it because he ain't want to fight David Benavidez. David Benavidez been the number one contender for about 3 years now.
For 3 fights, I think.
That shit was the easiest $3 million Abney ever saw. The man just
But it's funny.
walked right in there and walked right out.
It's funny. He probably should have taken Benavidez 2 years ago because Benavidez was less, was greener. I think.
And that's what I keep saying about Morrell. These guys need to fight Morrell now. Don't let that man get some steam. Y'all saying he's not ready yet. Fight him now. Y'all let Morrell get some experience on him. I'm telling y'all, he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem.
He free, nope, because as soon as he do that, they're gonna say, well, he wasn't experienced anyway.
No, I'm telling y'all. All right, go on. Let that man get some experience. I guarantee you, ain't nobody beating that man. Ain't nobody.
I don't think Canelo needs Morrell.
I don't believe in saving no fighter. If you 9-0 and you think you could step up to the top of the division, go for it. I ain't trying to save nobody. Well, then let him fight somebody. You trying to save him?
Who?
Go ahead.
You.
Jude,
How?
what do you say, Jude?
You trying to say don't let him fight Benavidez because it get destroyed? Let him get destroyed. I don't care.
No, I'm saying that rhetorically as well. Y'all gonna get him fucked up.
I'm not saying nothing. If David Benavidez go out there and he beat David Morrell, I'm gonna give David Benavidez all the props because I don't see nobody at 168 beating Morrell.
Let me say this real quick.
Who has Morrell fought for y'all to say that?
Nobody.
It ain't matter who he fought for me to say that. It's a matter of what no, it's not because who the hell did Booth?
Berlanga had 16 first round knockouts. Everybody was praising his ass. It's possible.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
It's possible he could be another Berlanga. We don't know that.
No, he's a lot better than Murphy.
He's nowhere near Berlanga. Nowhere near Berlanga. He'll beat the snot out of Berlanga.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is he's fighting nobodies right now. The soon as he step up,
I hear this same talk about Boots. Everybody talking about Boots ain't fighting nobody. He ain't ready yet. Man, that man got 31 fights. That man is ready. He ain't gonna get no more ready.
Jude, let me ask you a question. Who you got in Tank Davis versus Devin Haney?
I got Tank.
Exactly. Who the fuck Tank
We don't even
fought?
know that fight would ever get made. Like,
Let me who Tank fought.
Who?
Tank fought a lot
Devin
of
don't
people.
fought
Tank ain't fought nobody.
He's fought better than Haney.
So who he
Tank
fought,
fought more
man? Stop
champions
capping,
than
man.
Haney and Shakur combined.
No, Tank
That's a
Davis
lie.
fought a lot of people. Do y'all realize Tank Davis fought more champions than Devin Haney did?
Exactly. And Shakur.
What?
Man,
He fought
Tank,
more
Name
champions.
them niggas. Huh? I don't believe that. Name them niggas.
name him.
No.
He
Tank
fought a lot of
Davis
former
Tank
champions.
Davis is a 5-time champion. He beat the
No,
guys
he's
for
not.
their belt.
Man, you talking about some Mickey Mouse belts. Get out of here. I don't know.
He is
No.
almost a Mickey
Hold
Mouse.
up. You do realize the
Y'all niggas
WBA.
tripping.
No, you see that's the problem with people that don't know nothing about the belts. Because the WBA Super is a status. It's a status. You don't become the WBA Super unless the WBA sanctioning body say they want you to be the Super.
That's not what Josh Taylor said. That's not what Josh
but
Taylor
we agree
said.
that there was a champion
No, you
over
do realize
Tank Davis's regular belt.
No, you do realize
Tank
the
will
WBA
destroy
Super, the WBA Super wasn't in existence for 8 years at 135 until Lomachenko fought what's the guy that
Luke Campbell.
No, the guy that rocked Devin Haney.
Jorge
Linares. Jorge Linares had the belt. He was not the Super until Loma went to go fight him. Then he became the Super. It was
Tank win that
non-existent
belt
for 8
against
years.
Leo Santa Cruz moving up.
No, it was non-existent at 135 for 8 years. Nobody was the WBA Super for 8 years. It was just a WBA belt, the regular belt, like y'all like to call it. It was the WBA World Championship belt.
Okay,
so
well,
did Tank that's a Mickey Mouse belt. No, that's the actual belt. Until you get the status of being a super, that's the actual belt that you hold.
Can I ask you a question, Free? Why did Josh Taylor say? Why did Josh Taylor say? Why are you fighting? What is the guy's name? The Mexican kid.
Mario Barrios.
He said, "Why are you fighting Mario Barrios? You can fight me for the real belt." Why did Josh Taylor say that to Tank Davis?
Why did Josh Taylor tell Tank Davis what?
Why don't you fight me? I'm the real champion. Fight the real champion at 140. When he was about to fight Mario Barrios, Josh Taylor was begging for that fight for Tank. And Tank fought the regular so-called Mickey Mouse champion.
And it's funny Josh Taylor would say that once he already had the fight already set in stone.
I was about to say he was already signed. He was already signed to fight. He was already signed. He was already signed to fight Jack Catterall.
None of that shit when the fight wasn't confirmed yet.
No, this is back in the day. This is after he just got done beating Regis Prograis to death. This is exactly
to death. To death.
He was undisputed at that point.
You're generous.
And,
oh my God! I told y'all
Jack Catterall took
that's what he
step-aside
like to
money, so he was gonna have to fight Jack Catterall no matter what.
Yeah, he had to fight Jack Catterall no matter what. So what I'm saying is, this is the thing I'm saying about Tank. Tank's a terrific talent, but and Sock, you agree with me on this. I want to see if he can really do it. If he's good, like you say, go fight the Puerto Rican star, Sugar Shakur. Go fight the American Dream, Haney. Go fight one of those guys, man.
By the way, I just
Tank
brought up Tank Davis.
Tank doesn't need him. Tank was
the biggest
pay-per-view.
not everything. You got to look at the skill sets.
See, stop. People like you are messing up boxing.
I think he would beat Devin Haney.
No.
We need all the.
All I know is, like I said, Tank Davis has fought 5 champions. 5. Devin Haney fought 1.
Name him.
He fought 1.
The one that Tank ran from. He ran from Loma.
No, I'm not. No, hold on, BBO. Hold on.
Got a gift.
Let me break it down. I'm not talking about somebody that was a former champion. I'm talking about an actual champion. Devin Haney fought 1. He fought 1. Cambosa. That's the only actual champion that he fought.
Oh, you forgot about Richard Coleman, didn't you?
He only fought 1.
Richard Coleman had a belt. Richard Coleman.
He said Haney. Haney only fought Cambosis.
No mistake. Yeah.
Only fought 1 champion.
So who do you guys want to see Tank? Who do you guys want to see Tank fight? Because Tank. Who do you guys want to see Tank fight?
Tio.
Dev.
I want to see Tank fight.
Tio, yeah, definitely. Tio.
No, I want to see Tank Davis fight all of those guys. I want to see him fight all of them. But that does not take away from what the fuck Tank Davis is. Tank Davis is a hell of a talent, and his resume is not shitty. It might not be as good as you want it to be, but his resume is not shitty.
Tank might have.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, because it seems like a lot of people don't like Haney on this panel. If Haney beats Prograis, does Haney get his props for beating Prograis?
He beats Prograis. He's the second best lightweight. He's the second best super lightweight in the world, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to know, because I know. I don't think everybody here is a Haney fan. I know. I like everybody. Like I don't really have a favorite.
I like all these guys, but I'm not gonna sit here and shit on their resume because I know who these fighters they fighting. Yeah. I know the guy. Now, if you don't know him, that's on you. But I know the guy. Like Leo Santa Cruz is not a bum.
No.
Jose Pedraza, when Tank Davis fought him, was not a bum.
Right. That was to me what legitimized Tank Davis, because that was early in his career and he smoked Pedraza. And Pedraza was a solid pro.
Man. He ain't smoking, man. He won. He ain't smoking. He ain't smoking. He ain't smoking. He won. No, that's
this is the problem with boxing right now.
All right, real quick. So
stopped him in the 7th. He stopped him in the 7th round. So he wrote. Did he? What did he do? He singed him.
Pedraza was killing himself. Pedraza was killing himself to make 130. He said that he said I was killing myself.
CBO didn't even know who Pedraza was when Tank fought him.
Oh my God, stop it.
He
Probably right.
BBO probably wasn't even watching boxing with Type 4.
And undefeated, and Pedraza was undefeated at the time too.
Mm-hmm. And Tank Davis became the youngest champion at 21 years old at 130 pounds.
This is the thing I'm saying about Tank, and this is what y'all listen. We love him. We want him, but we want him to do like Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd did, fight all the best guys, man. It's that simple.
At the right time, right?
No, Floyd fought.
At the right time.
What, Pretty Boy Floyd at the right time?
See, this is the thing you said. You only saying that
Floyd fought the guys at the right time.
You only said it because Floyd is black, man. Floyd fought everybody, man. He fought everybody
at the right time.
Him and Oscar fought everybody.
He didn't fight Antonio Margarito. He didn't fight Paul Williams. I mean,
so Paul Williams. Come on. Came across his desk. That's what Paul Williams said. So you got to look it up before you say that.
Well, they're both Heyman guys. That's number one. So the fight could have been made. Margarito, he turned down money that he had never seen before.
You wanted him to,
yeah, but nobody knew that.
Why not? Nobody knew that.
Nobody knew that at that time.
If you want to talk about cheaters, Floyd was shooting his hands up with cortisone. Okay.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. It's a documented fact. Floyd Mayweather.
No, Floyd was taking an IV.
Nah, he
was dehydrated. He was taking an IV.
And I know the person that gave him the IV. That was after. Trust me, I know the person that gave him the IV. The hands, he was shooting painkillers in his hands. It's documented. There's an article by Gabe Montoya
after the fight.
In training, yeah.
After the fight.
No. Prior.
When did he take a cortisone shot to the hand before the fight? What fight was this?
It was I can't say the specific fight, but I'm going by an article that was written by Gabe Montoya. At the time, Montoya was with Max Boxing. And look, what is cheating, right? Now, there's levels of cheating, right? Plasters in your hands or steroids, right? I mean, either way, you're both cheating, right? So it's like, what are we holding worse? There's been a lot of guys gotten away with cheating. Aaron Pryor's a fucking cheater, and no one talks about it. Yeah. So it's what you want to, hold people to. But Floyd did fight guys at the right time. You cannot deny that.
And then Opin LD, he says the same thing. He's right about the hand thing, y'all. I've seen that article as well. It's an old article.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a very old article.
Too, because I ain't know nothing about it.
Yeah,
I've never heard.
I'm an old nigga. That's why.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at none of this news. Like none of this news is surprising.
But it was only noted, I think, for 2 fights though, Sock. I don't think for his career. I think it's only noted he shot up his hands. I think 2 fights. If the article said 2 fights.
Yeah, Floyd used to shoot up his hands. He had pain.
Fighting the right guys, fighting guys at the right time is nothing new. It wasn't invented with Floyd. I mean, Floyd Patterson didn't fight Sonny Liston until he had to, right? So it happens. I mean, he's not the first person. He won't be the last. We're in the era now of Canelo, right? Is Canelo fighting the guys at their best? No.
Well,
no.
Actually,
he's not even fighting the fighters in his own weight class.
It's true.
The thing is, Floyd tried to fight all those guys, and they didn't want to fight him. So then, when Floyd became the money man, they came around and said they want to fight Floyd now.
But he fought guys like nobody wanted to see him fight, like Robert Guerrero, and then Robert Guerrero got the fight because nobody thought he was going to beat Berto, and then he beat Berto. So
he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight Prince.
I mean, come on, he fought Marcos Maidana, Miguel Cotto.
He wanted to fight Shane Mosley when Shane Mosley was at 135. He wanted to fight Shane Mosley.
Floyd had some good
names
on his resume.
Want to fight him at 135.
A lightweight, he was amazing.
Yeah, one guy that I thought could have had a shot at Floyd, and they talked about it, but it never happened. And then apparently he got killed. Was Vernon Forrest? I think that would have been a good matchup. I think that would have been a good fight. But
I don't think Floyd would have gotten anywhere near Vernon Forrest.
You don't think so? I think it would have been a really good fight. Vernon Forrest would have been a tough matchup for him.
No, I know. I'm saying that's why I don't think he would have ever been anywhere near him.
Yeah.
I don't know because Vernon Forrest couldn't be the dude that was smoking cigarettes.
There's a different style. That was make fights.
He was in his head. That was a different. He was in his head though. That fight.
Mario could knock out a horse.
Oh no, he couldn't knock out Shane Mosley.
Marky Dan's here.
Yeah, but he knocked out a lot of good guys too. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what's going on with my laptop. It was bugging out.
Yeah, he
should be in the Hall of Fame.
Just
who?
Floyd.
Who should be in the Hall of Fame?
He should be a Hall of Famer. He was a good character. I mean, he beat Six Heads Lewis. I mean, Vernon twice.
I don't know if he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know
off of him.
I don't know what their criteria is because we see a lot of guys that's in the Hall of Fame that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. We see a lot of guys that should be in the Hall of Fame that's not in it. I don't know what their criteria is for making the Hall of Fame. Because if you got like people saying Devin Haney is going to be in the Hall of Fame because he's an undisputed champion. Shit. If that's the case, why the hell Jermaine Taylor ain't in it? He beat Bernard Hopkins for the title. Beat him twice.
Corey Spank's not in the Hall of Fame.
Corey Spank's not in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, I that's what I said. I don't know what their criteria is.
They're just saying that because he's still, obviously he's young. He's got a lot more career to go. So,
he does have it. But they talking about right now. If he retired right now, he'll be in the Hall of Fame because he's undisputed. No, that's not necessarily true because, like I said, Jermaine Taylor's not in the Hall of Fame, and he beat Bernard Hopkins twice for it.
He's in the record books because he's one of the guys in the the 4-belt era.
But the thing about it is, D3, but after Bernard Hopkins, he had a steep drop off. Where he was losing to Carl Froch and different guys. So I can understand why you wouldn't put him in.
Though. No, that was way later though.
It's not about who he lost to. It's about who he fought. Because there's a lot of guys that got losses to guys that was good that's in the Hall of Fame. It's about who you fought.
I mean, with Mayorga, it's tough, but you could say Mayorga sold a lot of fights because he was in a lot of big fights.
Yeah.
Right? He fought.
He was important. Mayorga was important to the culture at that time, bro, because he was getting a lot of dudes paid.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it this way. Just think about it. Name the big fight that Mike Tyson won.
No, shit. Larry Holmes. That's it.
Well, historically,
that wasn't a big fight.
But he made history. He's the youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Michael Spinks. That's about it, bro.
That's his signature moment.
That wasn't a big fight neither.
No, the Michael Spinks.
No, that was a big fight. That was for the lineal heavyweight title. That was the final unification for him.
That was for a title.
That was a unification. That was Michael Spinks was
that was his peak.
Fight. That was his
peak.
Yeah,
that was his peak.
I mean that was a good achievement, but that was not a big fight. A big fight was Holyfield, was Lennox Lewis. Those guys. Those was the big fights. He didn't win none of them.
But I agree. No. But hold on, D3. At that time, at that time in the 80s, those were the guys, though, D3. Yeah, like, come on, you got to judge him by that era. Now I agree with you in the 90s. He didn't beat nobody. I agree with you on that.
When he beat Spence was old. When he beat Holmes, he was old. Those were the guys for the era of. They were the guys from the era before.
He was out for like a year, but he wasn't old.
Those were the guys from the era before him.
It Spinks was the champion too.
He never beat none of the big guys in the era of him. The guys that was in the same era.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Which one did he beat?
You're discrediting the Spinks one. Even though Spinks' two controversial wins against Holmes, but he's still
let me say this.
Champion.
Let me say this. I definitely agree. Mike Tyson's career is really overrated. I do not think that he's a GOAT. I don't think he's even in the top 10, but that's just my opinion. Like, you can't lose to Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, all the greats of your era, and then we just put you on this pedestal. Like, no, I don't care. And it's just always an excuse for why you'd lose, man. Like, that shit just ain't cool to me.
But here's the thing.
I was a Mike Tyson fan.
But Mike was bigger than the sport. Mike
was bigger than the sport. That's good.
He's bigger than the sport. That's number one. And he came in an era when you had what was the guy's name? Page was a heavyweight champion. Trevor Burbick. I mean, he resurrected. Not bums. It happens. Like you can kind of say we were in the Klitschko's. It happens. You know, it happens.
I'm not
Bone
knocking
Crusher
that.
Smith,
I was just saying when he said Jermaine
Pinklin
Taylor
Thomas.
lost to Carl Frampton. Those guys. Those guys are big name guys, and those guys are probably going to make it to the Hall of Fame if they haven't already made it.
Yeah,
but I
Carl
was
Frost is a
saying,
monster.
I was showing the comparison of Mike Tyson. He never beat none of those guys that was the big name of his era. He didn't beat none of them. None of them. If you name the big guys of his era, he didn't beat none of them.
I mean, with the Hall of, well, go ahead, Socrates. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, I mean, look, it's not Lennox's fault or Evander's fault that Mike's personal life interfered in his greatness. You know, I think if Mike was disciplined, I mean, I don't think Holyfield touches him. You know, and let's say I am a Holyfield fan, but Evan Fields beat Mike Tyson, right? We know Evander Holyfield was on special vitamins, okay? So let's take that into account, right? But it was a tremendous fight, and I was rooting for Holyfield. I couldn't stand Mike Tyson when I was a kid, you know. But as you get older, you acknowledge what he did for the sport. I mean, they still talk about him to this day. He's still. I mean, there'll be nothing like Mike ever again.
I'm not saying that Mike Tyson. Like I said, I was a Mike Tyson fan. I love Mike Tyson as a fighter. But I mean, the facts are the facts. He didn't beat none of those guys that was a part of his era. Those guys that had the names. He didn't beat none of them.
But what was
he beat the guys that was below that level. If you look at Mike Tyson's record, majority of the guys that you see on his record that he beat was either a low B level or C level fighters. Most of those guys are not A level fighters.
And something else I never liked about Mike was,
I think that's fair, but during that time, those were the top guys at that time, though, right? Yeah, there was nobody. Who was the top guy that was avoided in that case? You see what I'm saying? I think what you're saying is fair. I understand what you're saying, but during his time, those were the best guys. Those were the top guys. It's not like he ducked anybody that was a top guy. That's why I think Spinks, he should get full credit for Spinks. That was a big money fight. He got paid a lot of money. He got paid like $32 million.
He's the highest paid athlete.
Now, Mike Tyson was the A side to all those guys, but he just didn't beat them.
I mean, Tony Tucker, Tony Tubbs. I mean, those guys, you know, were really good fighters, and I believe Tubbs was a world champ.
I would have loved to see Mike Tyson versus David Tua. I wanted to see how that would have ended.
Yeah, that would have been a great fight.
Oh, that would have been rock'em sock'em.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that.
At least
I mean, there was fight. I mean, him and Tommy Morrison was supposed to happen. It you know. Look, you can say that about any heavyweight other than Ali, because Ali was blessed to be in the best era, you know, and he fought everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Ali had a little bit of the 70s and a little bit of the 80s. He had a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know, in the 60s. I mean, he
cleaned out the 60s and the 70s.
I mean, Rocky Marciano didn't fight in the best era. I mean, he fought Joe Louis when Joe was past his prime.
He was,
you know, so it happens. You know, it's
Klitschko didn't really fight. I mean,
but when we talk about the Hall of Fame, it's opinionated. So it's like we say, there's no real criteria. It just depends on who the writers really like.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's why I think Jermaine Taylor, because of his troubles, is probably why he's not in. Because Jermaine Taylor should be a Hall of Famer. Jermaine Taylor's a Hall of Famer.
I can't say who's for sure going to make the Hall of Fame because I don't know what their criteria is. At one moment they like this fighter, the next moment they won't like the fighter. Yeah. So I don't know what their criteria is of who they decide to make it in the Hall of Fame. It should be a standard. It should be a standard. Like the way the NFL and the NBA and baseball got it. It should be a standard.
But D-Free, even those Hall of Fames are opinionated. Like it's a ton of dudes we think should be in the NFL Hall of Fame that's not in there.
It's politics too. It's like who's like.
I mean, it just is what it is, man. Like
it's opinionated, but your stats speak for itself. Yeah. So it's guys that should be in the Hall of Fame, but then when you look at who they put in the Hall of Fame, you're like, yeah, he should have made the Hall of Fame. So you can't say not because they only put a certain amount of people in the Hall of Fame every year. So these guys are the finalists, and then you have the next level below that. So you look at you like, damn, this guy should have made the Hall of Fame. But then you see who made it, you be like, I can see why he made it. I can see why he made it. So it's not like Jermaine Taylor. We all believe that Jermaine Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame. He was undisputed champion, the first of the Four-Bird era. But he's not in the Hall of Fame. You see some guy that got a daggone like 10 losses on his record make it to the Hall of Fame before Jermaine Taylor makes it.
I think Jermaine will get in eventually. I mean, I've always I haven't been as strict with boxing Hall of Fame as I do with other sports, just because most of these fighters, that's all they got at the end of the day. A lot of these guys are broke, you know.
Yeah,
so
a lot of them.
You know, so I don't hold them to the same standards as like baseball players, because even, you know, the 25th man, you know, in baseball is a millionaire, you know, so you can't hold them to the same standard. I think Jermaine will get in eventually.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. That man been waiting around for what? Damn near 20 years?
No, has it been that long? Since he got stopped by no, remember he fought Solomon about
well, it's a 5-year wait period after you retire. So when was his last fight?
His last
probably
fight
had to be like 2010, 2012.
He fought in 2012?
Yeah, so he been waiting for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just. I always think about
11 years.
Yeah. So when we talk about Hall of Fame, you know, Jermaine Taylor, I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. You got guys like, I mean, I always bring up Arturo Gatti, but Arturo Gatti, he sold a lot of fights, especially in Atlantic City, and that's why he's in the Jersey Hall of Fame or Atlantic City Hall of Fame. But Virgil Hill, why did Virgil Hill get in? Because he's got the record for, I guess, most title defenses or something like that. He defended it like 9 or 8 or 9 times or something like that. Virgil Hill's question: is Virgil Hill a better fighter than Jermaine Taylor? You know,
it's an even comparison. It's fair comparison. Both Olympians.
Yeah. But I think
Virgil
Jermaine
Hill
Taylor should be.
So do I.
That's the light heavyweight who Tommy Hearns fought, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if I think Arturo Gatti should get in over Jermaine Taylor though.
Well, I mean Arturo also, you know, the fact of how he died, and he was an HBO darling.
I think that's the reason why he got into the Hall of Fame, because of the fact of how he died.
How he died, and plus, I mean, he was, I mean, the most exciting fighter, you know, at least on TV, you know. So, and he always gave an honest effort. You'll never confuse him with a Charlo.
He just go in there. He just go in there.
I got to. I got to.
He'll try, but he just get beat up.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
Real quick, before we close out, I may come on tomorrow night after the fights. It depends. I was going to talk a little bit about the wrestling, but we ain't got time.
Oh, somebody dropped off.
Who's that?
Marky Dan.
Marky Dan. Yeah, he's an island boy. So, you know,
did you talk about the 140 fight?
No, we didn't get to talk about Matias. Michelle Rivera's fighting Lipenets tomorrow. That's a good fight. Lipenets and Michelle Rivera is a good fight. And Matias is
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, Lamar Roach and Hector Garcia.
That's a good fight too. Lamar Roach is pretty solid.
We got
who else? Matias is fighting this guy. That guy came in talking shit. Ergashev, whatever. Ergashev.
Oh yeah,
that's the one that fight.
Talking shit at the weigh-in.
The one that fight Matias.
Yeah,
he's undefeated.
Shit.
He's undefeated.
I think that and they say he's a puncher too, so I think that's gonna be nothing but fireworks.
Yeah, I
thought that was the co-feature at first.
No, that's right before Jose and Jamal.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, and then before that, like I said, you got Garcia, Luis Garcia fighting Lamar Roach, and then you got Lipenets fighting Michelle Rivera, making his comeback after being suspended.
Can y'all ask me, why do David Benavidez keep carrying around 2 WBC belts?
What?
Why do David Benavidez keep carrying around 2 WBC belts?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's only the daggone WBC silver or interim.
Well, the one he got stripped. He got stripped of one, right?
He got stripped
for
of
the coke.
Of the belt that Canelo got. He got stripped
for the coke, right?
For the weight. for the weight.
Okay.
The Coke was at 160, I believe. It might have been early at 168, but that was years ago. The one that Canelo has now is the one that he lost on the scale, and Canelo fought Caleb Smith for that fight, for that belt. He fought Caleb Smith for that belt after he had just beat what's your face at 175. He came down and fought Caleb Smith for David Benavidez WBC belt that he lost on the scale.
Was it Rocky Fielding?
No,
Rocky Fielding, right? No. You said that he fought at 75, and then he fought, was it Fielding he fought at the Garden?
Ooh,
no, that
wow.
was the dude from London. That he
Rocky Fielding. Yeah, wasn't it Fielding?
It wasn't Fielding. It was the guy that raped the girl in New York.
Oh, for Dale?
No.
No, Rodeo.
You said rape the guy.
175 pounder.
Rape the guy in New York.
Not Kovalev.
Yeah, Kovalev. That's what it was. Kovalev. He beat Kovalev.
No, but he fought another British bum at the Garden, and he stopped him. You sure it wasn't Rocky Fielding?
No, I mean he probably did stop Rocky Fielding, but I'm saying when he fought at 175, he fought Kovalev. He fought Kovalev at 175, and then he fought Caleb Smith for David Benavidez WBC belt. He came back down and fought Caleb Smith. And he fought Rocky Fielding first.
And it was
he fought Rocky Fielding.
He did fight Rocky Fielding. Yeah.
He fought Rocky Fielding first. Then he went up and fought Kovalev, and then he came down and fought Caleb Smith for David Benavidez WBC belt, because the first belt he got 168 was Rocky Fielding. That was the first belt he got, and then he went to 175 and fought Kovalev, got that belt, and then came back down and fought Caleb Smith. But I'm still trying to figure out why David Benavidez is walking around with 2 WBC belts. I'm like, dog, you only have 1 belt. What are you carrying 2 for? I guess he was saying he was a 2-time WBC champion. I don't know.
Real quick, Marky Dan had to go. He says he's got Ergashev pulling off the upset, and he got Lamont Roach knocking off Hector Garcia. Okay, he picked 2 upsets.
I can see that. I can see that.
I don't see Lamont Roach winning at all. I don't see Lamont Roach winning at all. Lamont Roach hasn't looked good since before that fight he got knocked out in. Like 2, maybe 3 fights ago, when he got.
It was like 3 fights ago, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good since then. Yeah. And Hector Garcia, I mean,
he fought Omar Figueroa or something like that.
I think it was. It was somebody. It was somebody. I can't remember who it was, but he got knocked out cold.
And this is Garcia's.
No, Lamont Roach. No, he didn't. He lost to Herring.
Yeah, he got knocked out.
Yeah, he hasn't got knocked out.
He must have got
lost
dropped.
To Jamel Herring.
I thought he got knocked out.
Lamont Roach?
Lamont Roach. I thought he got knocked out cold. But I don't see him beating Hector Garcia.
No, he lost to Jamel Herring in the unanimous decision.
And this is Garcia's first fight since the Tank Davis fight, right?
Lamont Roach lost to Jamel Herring? What year was that he lost to Jamel Herring?
Hold on, it's breaking up. Say that again. Jamel Herring, it was a few years ago. This was 2019.
Oh, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was a unanimous decision. He'd never been knocked down. I'm looking at his record now. He's 23-1.
He must have got dropped.
I thought he fought Omar Figueroa. So it must be somebody else. I must be thinking.
I don't see Lamont Roach winning though. I don't see Lamont Roach winning. I see Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia might stop Lamont. He might stop Lamont. He might. Damn.
It's possible. Like people sleep on
Matias
Hector
fight.
too.
I'm very interested in. I mean, you
see it too.
know, Matias has no defense. Huh?
Matias?
Say that again, Jude. Okay.
No, I was saying
I was
piggybacking off what D Free was saying about Hector Garcia. He was saying he might it's possible he might beat Lamont Roach, and I was saying people sleep on Hector Garcia's power too.
Yeah, Hector Garcia. I mean,
Hector Garcia.
We saw what Hector Garcia. Yeah, we saw what he can do. We saw what he did to daggone Chris Colbert. We know what he can do. He can make you change your whole game plan and say, look, I'm just going to be out here to survive. I'm not fighting nothing. Like he beat the salsa dance out of Hector Garcia. I mean out of Chris Colbert. He beat that man head.
Yeah, he did. He made Colbert almost quit.
He made Colbert turn his hair back black.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't dyeing my hair no more.
and is Colbert gonna get that rematch against the guy that he got that gift?
They fighting on the December card. Somebody's undercard.
December 16th.
On the Haney card, I think. I think it's on the Haney card. Yeah.
I think that happened this year, right? In 23.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2023.
No, but that first fight happened earlier this year, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that was a gift. Colbert got a gift that fight.
That's got to be in the running of the worst decisions of the year.
Yeah, that was
has to be.
I don't see how,
because we're gonna do year-end awards, right?
We should.
Yeah, that's definitely
absolutely.
That's definitely gonna be in the awards.
That was crazy.
I don't understand how they saw that fight for Chris Colbert, because I was literally scoring that fight round by round. I'm like, what fight was y'all watching? I didn't see Hector. I didn't see Chris Colbert win that many rounds. I'm like, I think I gave.
Go back and watch that a little bit, D Free. Go back and watch that fight again.
No,
you think Chris won?
I watched the fight twice.
If you just
you're wilding.
He was from and I'm only saying that from what I can see the judges seeing. The punch placement Chris Colbert was putting on him, he was getting through. He was getting a lot of shots off on Rayo, and after that knockdown, Chris Colbert did bite down, and he I can somewhat see why the judges had it like that, because he was kind of touching him up a little bit after that.
No, I saw the fight twice. I went after they judged it and they gave it to Chris Colbert. I immediately went back and watched it again, and I was like, "Oh,
I heard y'all talking about Colbert fight. I wanted to hop back in quick. I thought Colbert won that fight personally. There was no robbery like people were trying to make it out to be. I saw Colbert scoring a lot of good points, and then El Rayo would just land a couple of big punches, and the crowd would go crazy. Really?
Rayo will have one or two exchanges, then he'll lay off.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And that was the fight. Chris Colbert was the one landing the punches to me. The more effective punches. Not the more effective punch. He was landing more punches, is what I mean to say.
Yeah.
Is tomorrow the end of Katie Taylor's career?
Yeah, that's another fight. I think so.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said it's tomorrow the end of what?
Katie Taylor's career.
Katie Taylor?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Katie Taylor.
Can she not make 135 anymore?
I think she's making 135 because she don't want to move up. I don't think she want to move up.
She's 37 already, and a lot of miles. I think Cameron lit her up that last fight. I think her confidence is going to be through the roof.
Yeah, that wasn't even a close fight.
If they go the distance, we might see another robbery because they might want Katie Taylor to go out on top.
Yeah, because they want the Serrano fight to be over there in Ireland. They want that Serrano fight over there in Ireland. That's big money.
They do. The last fight was in Ireland, right?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Now that fight right there, I will say, I hate to admit, I went back and watched the fight. I thought Katie Taylor did win that fight because Amanda Serrano was taking too many shots straight to the face
in the last two rounds.
To me, that fight
it's a 10-round
either
fight.
way. That shit was just a slugfest, bro.
It was more than the last two rounds, dog. Like Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano got her the first couple of rounds, and then she started. I don't know if she gassed herself out, but she was taking a lot of shots straight to the face. I was like, God damn, move your head. She was taking a lot of shots straight to the face.
That's in the afternoon tomorrow, right? On the zone.
Yeah, that's in the zone.
Yeah.
So she got something to look forward to.
Yeah, Katie Taylor. She. I mean, one way or another, this probably going to be her last fight, whether she win or lose. I think this probably going to be her last fight because she's too old. She can't fight.
37. Yeah.
Yes, she can't fight those younger guys.
I don't know how much longer she can hide the fact that she's really a man. But
oh
I
boy!
think they're gonna.
Damn.
I think she's gonna come back for one more Serrano fight. Then she's gonna be done with it. I just think that's too much money to leave on the table, bro. Especially as a woman.
Am I wrong, huh? Am I right or am I wrong?
Yo, she another Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, and she's how she talks. She be like, she be mumbling and shit.
Do you think if she fight Katie Taylor, that's gonna be a 10-rounder or a 12-rounder, 3 minutes?
I don't think she would want to.
No.
Katie ain't gonna agree to that shit.
No shot.
No shot.
Amanda Serrano looked good in that fight that she had down in Florida for the 12-round 3 minutes. She looked good in that fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she also fought a bum though. She didn't fight anybody.
Yeah, I mean, and she's not a big puncher anyway.
I like Amanda Serrano, but that was a show
because the whole 2-minute round to the whole 2 minute 10 rounds thing that worked to Katie to have more time in what was it, the 5th round when she had her badly hurt.
Yeah, if that was a 3-minute round, she would have got her out of there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think she does well in 3 minutes because when she do get you hurt, it's like, okay, the round is over.
But I think that fight took away from both of their careers. Like that was a lot of rounds for both fighters. That fight.
I agree, Tom.
Because Amanda wasn't the same that her next fight. Her next fight, she struggled a little bit. She won, but she didn't look the same. So
I mean, any fight that you have a hard fought fight is going to take something out of you.
True.
It's going to take you 1 or 2 fights before you be back to yourself because you still hesitant from taking all those shots. You're gonna be a little hesitant, and once you realize, okay, I'm good, then you'll be back to your normal self. So it's gonna take something out of you when you have a hard fought fight. But I think Amanda Serrano probably got 1 or 2 more fights left, and I think she's gonna hang it up.
Yeah, she's made a lot of money already, so she should just
Yeah,
I mean, she gonna go back to Puerto Rico and live like a queen.
She should.
They love they love her in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and she's loved here in New York too. They love her here.
I know they love her in New York. Yeah. I already know they love her in New York, but I mean her home country, man. She probably go back home and don't have to buy nothing.
Yeah.
Did they make a decision on the Baumgartner thing? Did she get suspended? The steroids?
Well, they said she did a hair follicle, and nothing came up because with her hair being as long as it is, they can go back all the way up to 6 months, and they found nothing in her system.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I heard that too. I heard that earlier this morning.
Yeah, she did that. I think she did that last week or the week before. She did a hair. I think it was last week. She did a hair follicle, and they went all the way back up to 6 months, and they couldn't find nothing in her system.
Real quick, I guess before we close it out. So, where we stand on Matias? Do we think he wins? Do you think there's a chance he loses? I mean, what do we think? Because I think that's going to be a really good fight.
I think it's going to be a nasty, brutal slugfest, but I got Matias taking that.
Okay, Sock.
I'm not going to cap. I don't know jack about the other guy. All I know, he's got a good record. I mean, Matias, his style of fight is going to keep the other guy in the fight, because he's there to bring it, So he might get clipped himself. So it's a coin flip.
D, what do you think, D?
I'm right there with Shock. I don't know too much about the other guy. He just got a good record, but if you look at the guys that's on his record, there's not no notable names. I think he might have one or two notable names, but other than that, is a bunch of nobodies. But Matias does leave himself open, and that's how he lost the one fight that he did lose. He got caught, he got caught. He got caught, and he got hung up in the ropes. And dude caught him with another shot, and it was over. So I don't know how hard this dude punched, but they say he's supposed to be a big puncher. If he catch Matias, we're gonna see how good his chin is, and maybe that was just a fluke knockout. But we're gonna find out if he catch him, because Matias at some point he's gonna leave himself open, because he doesn't have good defense like that, and he likes to fight. He don't like to box. He likes to fight, and so at some point he's gonna get caught with a shot, and we're gonna see how tough his chin is. But I think Matias might pull it out, just because I think he's a little more seasoned, and he's been in there with better competition. So I think he probably will pull it out.
Okay. And then I'm interested. I don't know if they're going to show this on TV, but Michelle Rivera coming off of the suspension, of the steroid suspension, he's fighting Lipenets. Lipenets is a game fighter. He's not a bum. That's an interesting fight.
He's natural bigger too.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be on YouTube. You'll be able to see it on a YouTube page.
Okay.
Like all of those fights that they don't show on TV, most of them are going to be on YouTube. Some of them you probably won't see on YouTube, but most of them will be on YouTube. So if you go to the YouTube page, I forgot what time it starts, but I got it. I got the notification on my phone, so I get the notification when it actually start up.
Okay.
But you'll probably be able to see. I'm almost certain you'll be able to see Rivera on the YouTube page.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he looks.
Speaking of broadcast, what is the deal with Jim Lampley? Is he going to be doing the international feed, like the way Bob Sheridan used to do? Because something about ppv.com. Did anybody hear anything on that?
It's a Showtime event. I thought.
But Jim Lampley's supposed to.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not a Showtime event. This is going to be shown on payperview.com. It's not being shown on Showtime.
Because in the weigh-in was hosted by Showtime. So
No, now these are PBC fighters, but this is not a Showtime event.
But Jim Lampley is supposed to be.
I saw Showtime on the YouTube channel the weigh-in. That's how I saw it. So.
Yeah, no, you. Well, I saw it on PBC.
And they had the announcer, the Showtime announcer too.
But this is going to be on PBC. I said PBC. It's going to be on payperview.com. It's not going to be on Showtime. So don't go to Showtime looking to pay for the pay-per-view. It's not going to be there.
Okay. Well, I won't be paying for no pay-per-view tomorrow. So, if anybody want to go, Tom don't pay for the fights. Well, I'm not paying for this one. How about that?
I'm looking through the hole in the fence.
Yeah. I'm not paying for this one, but I will see the fight. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, all right. I mean, it's something else. There's one more thing.
I think Rivera. I think Michelle Rivera probably. I think he'll win this fight. I think he'll win.
He needs to.
Lipenets. He's a crafty fighter. He got some decent boxing ability. I think Michelle Rivera learned from the whole Frank Martin. I think that's the reason why he moved up as well. I think he realized he's not.
No, it's at 140. It's at 140.
That's what I'm saying. I think he realized he's not 135.
Oh, that's right. You're right. It was at 135. I'm sorry. You're right.
He's not a 135 pounder. So because that was the whole reason why he popped dirty, is because he was trying to lose weight to make 135. So I think he learned from that fight. I think he's gonna win. I think we might see the old Michelle Rivera that we saw up until the Frank Martin fight.
I'll be good. I mean, it's Lipenets is moving down. I think he fought at 147. He fought Boots at 147. He got stopped by Boots. That was his last loss. I think he fought after that. I'm not sure who he fought though. So he's fought one time after Boots, and then now he's fighting Michelle Rivera at 140.
He's trained by Justin Fortune, Freddie Roach's old fighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. I mean, we stick to boxing. There's nothing to talk about football, especially for my team and D. Free's team. So nobody.
Oh, it is. It is. We got rid of Jack Del Rio. I told you it was coming.
Jack Del Rio, yeah.
Jack
I mean,
Del
they didn't do
Rio,
him no favors. They traded away two of the better, defensive players too. So I mean,
they got rid of Jack Del Rio and they got rid of the defensive back coach. So Ron Rivera will be calling the defensive plays.
Okay.
Riverboat Ron.
Yeah.
I lost. I think I took the Commanders as one of my 3 picks, so that didn't do good. So
this might be if depending on how Ron does by the end of this year, this might be the end of Ron, and EB might be the new head coach.
I can see that.
Yeah, we'll see. And what happens tomorrow, Sock? Does Randy Orton turn heel? Randy Orton?
Nah, I think he's gonna be too over. I think he'll be too over.
Okay.
Nah. Does CM Punk come out?
CM Punk? I don't know.
Does he come out?
It's in Chicago, right?
They love that nigga over there.
Yeah, because it's in Chicago. That's the only thing. But I don't think anybody wants to deal with that guy anymore. So
I haven't seen wrestling in I don't know how long.
It's better. It's better than what
I ain't seen wrestling since Monday Nitro, nigga.
You were like 6 years old. What are you talking about?
I think the last wrestling match I seen. I think the last wrestling match I actually sat down and watched was when Brock Lesnar first came back to WWE. That was the last one that I watched.
I still watch it from time to time. I put over the pay-per-views at times. So, I mean, I'll watch it with the boxing. So, I'll be back and forth. I'll flip, but it's all right. But I figure I'd just throw it out there.
And Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, Michigan, Ohio State. You're right. Tomorrow.
Dog, this is what I want to know. Thomas and Sock, y'all follow college just as much as I do. Maybe y'all can figure this out for me. How in the hell is Ohio State the underdog when Michigan is a lower seed? Ohio State had a better schedule, and Michigan don't have their head coach. I know they're playing in Michigan, but they don't have their head coach.
That's right. What is the spread? I haven't looked at it. What's the spread?
3.5, Michigan.
They almost lost last week.
And it's at Michigan too, right?
3.5, Michigan, yeah.
That's why. It's probably because it's at Michigan. So Michigan is favorite.
No, I'm feeling like you feel, Thomas. This shit don't seem right.
No, but it's at Michigan, so that's why. I think that's the reason. If it was at Ohio State, I would probably feel something. But.
All the chips are telling me to go with Ohio State, but it seems too good to be true. They the favorite. I mean, they the underdog, and they the better team.
I usually I don't go for Ohio State. I don't usually go for them, but I can't. We have a mutual friend here that we don't want to see win, especially because he's an Eagle. He's an Eagle fan too, and the Eagles have been winning, so he likes Michigan and the Eagles. So, shout out to you, Brett. Fuck you.
I tell you what,
Buckeyes.
Michigan loses. Jim Harbaugh might be your coach.
You think? Jim Harbaugh might be at Washington.
He
might be the Raiders coach. He ain't gonna be Washington's coach.
Okay.
He wants Harbaugh.
I know.
I want Harbaugh.
He might be the Raiders coach. He's not gonna be Washington's coach. They're gonna promote EB. If Ron Rivera's not there, they're gonna promote EB.
Okay.
Because I mean, the new owners is the ones that went out and got EB. It wasn't the old regime. It's the new ones. They went out. We didn't get EB until I think it was after they was in the move to buy the team. That's when they end up getting EB.
I can see Harbaugh going to the Jets. So something I don't know. Something I don't think Salah's going to come back.
I don't think he's going to come back. I actually like him, but I like him more of a defensive coach. I don't really like him as a head coach, but he seems like a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah. I don't know. Something
unlucky. I mean, they threw a Hail Mary and they got returned for a touchdown. I mean, when have you ever seen that happen?
No, you know what I was so pissed about? No, I put Brooks on the bench because they said he was questionable. I was like, okay, I got a feeling that Seattle's going to lose this game anyway. I said Brooks is questionable. I put him on the bench, and he got a daggone pick six. I was pissed. I was like, this man got me 19 fantasy points.
I don't know why you benched him because you figured he gets a lot of tackles for linebacker.
That's why I normally don't bench him, but I'm thinking they probably wasn't going to play him because they was questionable all week. And I'm like, okay. I'm not getting no word. I'm like, okay, Is he probable? Is he still questionable? All the way up until game time, he was still questionable. They never said that he was going to go or nothing. So right when the game started, it switched to green. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's
I hate when they do that.
It's crazy. They benched fucking Tyreek Woolen, I think the last quarter. They benched him for missed tackles. But why not bench fucking DK Metcalf who can't catch a cold? He dropped like 2 big passes. Like it's ridiculous. Man. It's so frustrating. But we're not talking football, man. Fuck that.
Go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes. Fuck man.
Go Buckeyes.
Did you call any game? I mean, did we make any picks for the games yesterday?
I had.
Oh, you did.
I picked Detroit.
And you took Detroit, yep.
Both of y'all lost. Bet. Yep. I'm good.
On that note,
D3, you go with Michigan because you don't want Coach Joe to win, right?
That too. He was like, "Oh, you a hater?" I said, "Dog, y'all gotta understand. Blue is my favorite color, and the Ohio State they remind me too much of Dallas with those little stars on their helmets. Every time I see them, I think of Dallas. He was like, "Well, they got blue. That blue is close." I said, "Yeah, but the yellow takes away from looking at Dallas. I don't think about that. I think more of the Rams when I see Michigan. I don't think about Dallas." But those stars on their helmets, the first thing I think of is Dallas Cowboys when I see those stars up there.
Well,
I'm like, no, I can't go for them.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna close it, but real quick, Sock. You got the underdog shirt. Yo, when can you get Ofacio to come on the show, bro? Like, get Ofacio to come on. I know
Ofacio's a ham. He'll come on the show.
Yeah,
right now if you call him.
He hasn't responded to my messages on Instagram, so you're gonna have to hit him up and tell him to come on.
We'll get him on next week.
Ofacio Falcon, he's a top prospect here in the Bronx. Real good guy. He talks a lot, so he'll be good. Any closing words from you, my man Jude the Dude? It's great to have you back. You haven't been around in a minute. You're a hard worker.
Yes, sir, I am.
Any last words?
Any last words? Andre going to sleep. Sorry about that, but it's going down. I'll say 11th round. I said it here first, so don't look shocked when it happened, guys.
Okay. It's on tape. This video's going nowhere. D-Free, any last words?
No, I mean, I just hope all these boo-boo fans realize the man is past it, and it ain't no hard feelings. It's just a couple of years too late.
I got you.
Although I want Boo Boo to win, but I just don't think he is.
Yeah, I think it's like you. I think just Father Time is undefeated, and he's just not fighting in his natural weight class, and that's going to be a difference.
Yeah. All right. Well, I picked Boo Boo, and I kind of feel the way D3 feels. I really want Boo Boo to win because this is like his big shot, and I want him to capitalize on it. But I'm just gonna not pick Benavidez. I'm gonna pick Boo Boo because I wanna pick this. I want to be one of the guys that say I picked them to win. So I'm picking Boo Boo to win in a close split decision, maybe controversial. I think Boo Boo will show up. I think this is his first and maybe his only big chance. So I think he capitalizes.
I do want Boo Boo to win for another reason too. If Boo Boo win, dog, YouTube gonna be on fire. Man, it's gonna be on fire.
The Mexican fans
so many people gonna be mad. that joint gonna be on fire.
The Latinos will be upset.
I'm pretty sure there's a rematch clause, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys. I'm going to close it. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Real quick, let me give 2 more shout-outs like I did earlier in the show. Mention it again. DP Rocker, happy birthday. And Pedro Fernandez, happy birthday. I know it's past the midnight hour, but it's still Pedro's birthday right now in the West Coast in San Francisco. So that's all I want to say. Shout out TWT. We'll see you guys. We might be back on tomorrow. My man Brian may be on tomorrow. It'll be late though. Probably be after the fights. So
if Benavidez KO Andrade, we gotta go live.
Either way, and Jude, you'll be on because most likely I think I'm gonna come on tomorrow night late, and we'll recap. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Buenos noches. Buenos noches.